Miles from Miles Marketing. And this week it's all about, oh, hang about, the caption. I haven't updated it. Just goes to show that it's all live, right? LinkedIn understanding what they want from you. Intriguing, eh? My good friend Justin just rang me. He was talking about some bits and bobs, and I said, Justin, what day is it? And he said, Tuesday. I said, and what time is it? Oh, then he realized, because of course every single Tuesday I go live at 12:30 and I try and share some marketing goodness with you. Okay, now I did say I was going to give a shout out to Karen today. So Karen, it was good to chat to you on email earlier, and I hope you are very well. I'm just going to check that we are live on the internet. There he is. Justin saying it's his fault. Oh, it's not your fault. I will call you back later. Right, now, any questions you may have about this subject, LinkedIn, understanding, maybe a bit algorithm related, please pop those questions in the chat. I'll do my very best to answer them for you. But let's dive straight in. Now, the first thing to remember, right, and this is not just about LinkedIn, this is about all social media channels, is the clues in the name, all right? It's about being social. It's about having conversations. Ultimately, LinkedIn and any other social media channel, they want you to spend as much time on their platform as possible. Let's not forget about how social platforms make their money. They're not doing it for the love. Mainly they do it through advertising. LinkedIn's slightly different. It's got a number of other revenue streams. We've talked about that previously. But ultimately, right, the more eyeballs for the most amount of time that platforms can get, the better for ad revenue and all that sort of fun stuff, right? But it's about the socialness of social media. And I think that's what LinkedIn really want from you. But there are two types. I'm generalizing now, right? But there are two types of user of LinkedIn as a platform. We've got those that are content creators and those that are content consumers. Now, they're not sort of exclusive. You're not either purely one or the other. However, that's generally how it's split. And in terms of creators, they are absolutely the minority. So if anything, LinkedIn want more creators on the platform. But, the vast majority are always going to be consumers. Now, I get it that not everyone wants to interact on social media. But look, the title of this webinar is LinkedIn and Understanding What They Want From You. And it's quite simple. They want you to stay on their platform for as long as possible. So there are ways in which that you can play the system to your own advantage, because it's not just one way, right? Yes, they want you to stay on their platform for longer, but you want people to notice you too, right? So let's break this down and see how we can not only give LinkedIn what they want, but that you can get back what you want from the platform itself. So let's look at creators. Now, what they want when you're a creator on LinkedIn is they want you to create some sticky, engaging content that increases dwell time on the platform. Now, I've said this, if I've said this once, I've said this a million times, and it still grates me when I scroll through my feed and I see time and time again people posting external links. So this is definitely something that LinkedIn don't want you to do. Yes, they allow you to do it, and there are some ways in which they encourage you to do it, but ultimately they don't want people being taken away from the platform. So please, when you create your content, try and keep people on the platform. If there is an interesting article, you can make reference to that, or you better still, create some fresh content around that particular article or issue that you've seen on a third party's website. You need to make sure that your content's not spammy as well. LinkedIn don't want spammy content. They want original, engaging content that ultimately makes people have a conversation, have an opinion, or sort of share. So it is all about that sort of, the likes, the comments, the shares. It's about the conversation. It's about creating a community. And, really, when it comes to your content and being a content creator, you need to create content with this in mind. Because if you are creating content which is sticky, as in people sort of come back to it or people want to share it, if you are creating conversations which are prompting people to engage with it and give their own opinions, then it's very, very likely, and well, it's highly likely that LinkedIn will promote those posts the most, because that's what it wants. And we've talked about this before. When you create some content and you post it, it shows it to a very small number of your first connections to gauge how sticky and engaging it is. And when it sees that it is getting traction, it shows it to more and more people. Okay, so that's one of the key things about being a content creator, is creating content which is shareable and engageable and all of that sort of fun stuff. All right. Ultimately, if you can create like a little mini community, I mean, luckily I've got a fan in Justin and Karen too, right? So I've got at least 2 people that are watching my videos. But ultimately, I'm joking, right? But you build a little community and a little conversation, and people then tend to look out for your content and engage with it because they can relate to it. But when you are a consumer of the content, you may think, well, what does LinkedIn want from me? Well, ultimately they want you to be the engager of the content, right? So you do actually play a vital role. You may not create any unique content, but you can become part of the conversation, and that's what they want from you. So when you're scrolling through your feed and you're checking out what people are posting, the people that have, right, the algorithm, believe it or not, the algorithm is monitoring how fast you scroll, whether you stop and look at something for a second, and it's digesting how you interact with that feed, and over time it will amend what it shows to you based on your scrolling habits. I know it's a little bit scary, I suppose, a little bit freaky, but that's what it's all about. That's where the AI part, I suppose, of the algorithm comes in. If you stop on this post and you've been listening to this, then it'll think that you want to see or hear more content that's very similar to this, or from me specifically. So, yes, looking at a video in your feed goes into the algorithm and adds to it, looking at a picture or reading some text. But ultimately, this just shapes what you see. And, LinkedIn want you to interact with the content. So I'm going to say to you that next time you see something that you think is quite interesting, please make a comment, and not just, a great post, mate. Make a meaningful comment. Actually write something that you think may start a conversation. Yeah, because ultimately you want to get the feedback maybe from the content creator or from the other viewers and consumers of the content, because ultimately what's in it for you by you making a comment or giving it a meaningful like or reposting it with your thoughts on it is it's about raising your profile. So even though you may not be a content creator, you still can in a mini kind of way, because don't forget that your little profile, it follows you around, the little description about what it is that you do. So you can raise your profile on the system just by making meaningful comments on posts and having that sort of interaction. It really is quite powerful. When you engage with a piece of content, don't just give it the basic thumbs up, as it were. Be meaningful about it and select either the applause or one of the sort of the emotions. If you think it's funny, then use the laughy face, but follow it up with a comment that's meaningful, and check back in once you've made that comment and see whether the creator has responded to you and reply appropriately. Okay, the more interactive you are on the system, the more your profile is raised. The other thing you can do as well is share content with or without your opinion. So you can either just share it to your page if you think it's interesting, but if you think there is something worth commenting on within maybe your industry or something that's going on, then you can add your own comment, and then really you've made someone else's content, if you like, yours. And then you can start the conversation on your feed. So don't just think that because you're a consumer that you can't repurpose other people's content, because you can, and that's a nice thing to do. The other thing that LinkedIn wants you to do is they want you to fill out your profile fully. So not just the top line stuff, but mainly the description about who you are and what you do, because what's really important is to think that ultimately LinkedIn are creating this enormous database, and they want you to appear within a search engine search. So ultimately filling out your profile fully will allow for the search engines to find you better within search. Ultimately, LinkedIn want to appear high in the search results, and that's only going to happen if you've actually filled out your profile fully. So the more data they have on you, the more valuable you are to them, and the more LinkedIn may suggest you within search internally within the system, and the more likely you are to be found from an external search. Think of it as a massive database. Okay, so the summary of today. Sorry, I was getting a bit dry there. The summary of today is fill out your profile fully, making sure that you can be found on LinkedIn. Something I mentioned before is something called the SSI. So if you're looking for like a barometer for how well your profile is balanced, then in the search bar on your homepage, tap in Social Selling Index. And the Social Selling Index, or the SSI as it's referred to, it will give you a score out of 100 for your profile. And it's based on 4 sort of elements. To be fair, it's strongly linked with the Sales Navigator. And what I noticed is that I had a very high SSI score whilst I was subscribing to the premium service of Sales Navigator. And when I switched that off and stopped paying my £80 a month, my score went down. Now, I don't care about my SSI score, but it's still reasonably high. It's at, I checked it this morning, 66%, top 2% of my overall industry. So if you want a barometer, it will actually tell you which areas you need to focus on to up your profile on LinkedIn. the main thing I would say to you is it comes back to the being social. Engage with people's posts, give your opinion, because honestly, without you there as a content consumer, then there's no point in us being content creators, right? It's definitely a yin and yang and a symbiotic relationship, right? So I'm going to tell you, as a creator, there is nothing nicer than someone leaving a comment. You may not think it's that I care, but I do. I do care, right? It's nice to have a comment. It's even nicer when it's a nice comment, but even not a nice comment is nice, because we can start a conversation and I can maybe tailor my content to be more acceptable for more people. And that ultimately is what I'm trying to do. Be social, interact with people. Please make sure that you are sorry, my phone is buzzing. Somebody's not watching us live. Make sure that you are let me start again. The title of this today is LinkedIn and Understanding What They Want From You. And what they want from you is interaction, engagement, and they want to keep you and us on this platform for as long as possible. So please, please, please interact, have conversations, and be social on social media. That's what it's for. By you interacting on the platform, it means that I'm getting more exposure for my content. I'm building new relationships. You're getting more visibility because LinkedIn are promoting you more within the profile views and all that kind of stuff. So be as active as you can on the platform, fill your profile out as much as you can, and please just enjoy what it's there for. And I suppose the last thing is, do they want cat videos? Do they want strongman videos? One of those dropping this week. And the answer is not really, but people want to know about people, and the most popular videos on and content on this channel are the ones that are human related. They're not all business related, believe me. So there we go. I hope that has helped you understand a little bit more about what LinkedIn want from you, and it's all really about keeping you on the platform. So stop posting those external links, because it's not showing your content to as many people as if you did create some fresh native content on the platform. Okay, I have checked the chat and we got no questions, but as usual, you can see where's it gone? There. You can see my phone number there. Please hassle me, maybe not at 12:30 on a Tuesday, but send me a message and I'll do my very best to answer any questions you may have. Okay, so until next time, ta-ta for now.